Namaste. My name is Lacey, and I invite you to join me in this practice today, focusing upon tightness in the hips and hip mobility. As always, I ask you to always, always, always honor your body, not just any physical limitations, but also any energetic changes you may be feeling throughout your practice. There's nothing wrong with stopping this video, taking a break, coming back to it when you're ready, or in some cases just doing a few more warm-ups. Many of you are familiar with my videos, and at any point during this practice, please feel free to make it even more of your own. With that, let's begin with our spine tall in the chair, feet rooted. For this practice, we will need I highly suggest 2 yoga blocks, at least one. If you don't have a block, a very firm cushion or pillow can be suitable. We will also need a blanket or a towel, and that is for a portion of our practice where we may be kneeling for some of our movements. If that's not appropriate or doesn't feel right to you, I will give modifications of doing those movements in the chair. So please have blanket handy, and let's begin our practice. So with that, linking breath to movement. As we drop our shoulders down away from the ears, if you need to release, maybe the hands to the side, shake it out a little bit, and maybe just even tipping the chin down toward the chest, just to release the head forward. Let the weight of your head help with the tractioning effect to the cervical spine. And then gently keeping your chin into your chest, gently move your chin toward your right shoulder. And lowering that shoulder down just a way. Maybe you'd like to move the chin up a little bit higher, or just roll it back down center. One more time, moving the chin up. Take a deep breath in here, and then exhale, lower that down. Moving on to the left shoulder now. Keeping the chin in, so we keep some extension in that upper spine, in the cervical spine, and then exhale, lowering that down. One more time, linking your breath as you inhale, rolling the neck up toward that shoulder head. Draw the shoulder down, and then exhale, gently, slowly drawing that head down toward the chest, and then drawing the head back up. Again, imagining as if the crown of your head, the very center of your head, had a string pulling you up toward the ceiling, to feel the ultimate extension of not just your neck, but of your entire spine. Your hips and your bum are rooted down into your chair seat, and you can feel that grounding effect, as well as your feet. And if you need a cushion, or again, a block under your feet, in case your feet don't touch the floor, please do so, so you can feel this rebound of energy coming up legs, but also feeling that up the spine as well. From here, we're going to move on with some more linking of breath to movement. Holding onto your chair seat with the left hand, inhale the right arm up. Now again, let's focus on drawing that shoulder down away from the ear. And then as we exhale, gently, slowly, we draw that arm down back to the side. Go ahead and let that hand hang, so you can again feel the weight of that shoulder gently, once again, naturally traction down away from the ear. One more time, breath in as we draw the fingertips up toward the ceiling. And then as you exhale, we're going to take that arm now gently, slowly to the left thigh. Gently rest that hand here. Once again, reassess that shoulder down. And now engaging a very gentle twist. So as we inhale, feeling once again the spine get tall. As you exhale, feel the muscles of the belly, of your core, contract as you gently twist to look at the left shoulder. So as you inhale, once again, root down through the hips, grow tall through the entire spine, and then exhale, gently gaze toward that left shoulder, again drawing both shoulders down away from the ears, and then exhale, gently unraveling, letting the arm shake out. And we're just going to continue now on the other side. Left arm, inhale, drawing the fingertips up once again, shoulder head down away from the ear, and then exhale gently, slowly, with the length of your breath, letting the arm gently come down. Once again, let that hand just drape, feeling the weight of the arm, helping to traction that shoulder down. Now, inhaling the arm up. As you exhale, feel that shoulder coming down, drawing that arm once again now to the opposite thigh, to the right thigh. And once again, reassessing, hold on to the side of your chair. As you inhale, grow taller in the spine. As you exhale, contract the belly. As you engage that twist, just gently looking toward the shoulder. If you're just gazing to the right side, that's fine. Inhale once again, lengthening up. And then exhale, contract the belly. Maybe you gaze. Don't try to contort too much here. We're just warming up. And then as you inhale, coming back center, shaking that out. Taking your arms behind, scooting back in your chair, opening up the chest, just holding onto the back of your chair and letting, once again, shoulders come down, but feeling more of that stretch across the chest. And if you'd like, you may look up, or if you'd like to draw the chin down toward the chest, yogi's choice. So do what feels good. Maybe an exploration of both. Slowly inhaling, gazing up. You'll know if your neck does not agree with that. It will tell you immediately. Exhale, chin toward the chest. One more time, inhaling up. Belly gets full with the breath. And then exhale, the belly retracts back on that exhale, releasing the arms. And now, at this point, we're going to use at least one block. I encourage you to have 2 blocks on each side of the chair so you have them available to you. We're going to begin exploring that hip flexion and hip mobility, also getting some stretch into the hip flexor. So with that, we're going to have a block on, I'm going to start with the with the right side of my chair. And as you have this block here ready, we're going to place our foot on it and draw it back. So I'm going to demonstrate. We want to really make sure we're stable in our chair. So I'm going to slide my hips over toward the right side of my chair. Now I really want to hold on. Use both hands to hold on to that chair seat. And your right bum is going to hang off. So your left bum is stable in the chair seat, but hold on just for that stability. And then from here, holding on with the other hand, taking your foot onto that block. And we want to push this block behind us, keeping the ball of the foot or your toes just on that block. Now, as I push this block back, this is where the stretch is up to you. What you will see is that my knee is literally floating above the floor. We call that negative space. So with the height of the block and my foot on that, I can let my hip flexor stretch right here and feel that entire front of my thigh muscle, front of the thigh, all those muscles stretch here as well for the entirety of the hip in the front of the thigh. Again, how far you go back, it's up to you. Make sure, of course, you are stable in that chair. And then once again, a tall spine. Take another breath in here. Beautiful. And then cautiously, once again, always making sure you're secure in your chair, bringing that block back. Centering once again, you may do what I call like windshield wiper legs, where you just let them go in and out, and you'll probably notice most likely a little difference in that right thigh. So now same thing on the other side. So either take the same block and move it, or just get your other block or equivalent prop. And then again, making sure first of all that you're secure. This bum has to hang off so that you can accommodate negative space. That's how we can get this stretch in. So as you stabilize, drawing that block back once you have your foot on it and you are stable in your position in the chair. Again, lifting the spine tall, but finding that sweet spot where you can really feel, again, with that negative space of letting gravity, traction effect occur, stretching out that hip flexor, the front of that thigh, front of the hip right here. Breathe in here. Now, one side may be tighter. If it's too extreme, please adjust for the length that works for you. Take another breath in here. Beautiful. And then once again, carefully drawing that foot forward, coming back to center in your chair, and once again bringing the hips a little bit more forward so you can accommodate this little windshield wiper leg movement is what I call it. And then from here, coming back into your chair just slightly, feeling once again the hips root down, we're just going to get in some quadricep activation as well. So taking your hands clasped underneath your right thigh. Gently lift your foot up. Now, if you need the block to help you, you can also do that. just to accommodate where you are in this practice today. So if you don't need the block, that's fine. What we're going to do is you're going to clasp underneath that right thigh, and you're going to gently lift that knee up. Now, if this is a lot for you, there's a lot of support here. You're hanging that, using that hanger effect of the arms. But again, be where you are. Take a breath in here. Maybe you can release that. Again, all levels. And then exhale, gently set that down. We're going to add on and now extend the leg and the foot away. So with that, once again, taking that clasp, making sure you have that security of the leg as you lift that knee up. Once again, this is hip flexion. And now as you extend that foot away, getting some activation in that quadricep muscle. Now, you don't have to have that leg completely straight. Don't worry about that. Point the foot and then flex. And you're going to feel different muscles, shin and the calf, as well as the quadricep. I'm shaking too. If you are, join the club. Take another breath in here. Beautiful, and then retract that foot back. Again, if you need that block or not, it doesn't matter. Use the props that work for you. Make the modification work for you. This is your yoga practice. Again, maybe you need to shake that out again. Maybe this is more like a flapper leg, or I know it's trademarked, but the thigh master movement, if you know of that era of Suzanne Summers. And then taking your foot now on the block or not, clasping underneath that left thigh, gently pushing or lifting. But now as you're feeling that pressure of your hamstring, feeling that push in your hands, can you use the work of the leg to lessen a lot of that load in your hands? Can you just lift that leg? That's a lot of work I know in the quadricep. That's a hip flexion movement as well. Take another breath in here. And then exhale, gently slow that down. So again, seeing how much work we can put into that quadricep to load that instead of really depending upon the arms to support the leg. One more time, as we inhale, lifting up, and then if you can, extending that foot away. Now from here, drawing shoulders down, again, using the weight of that leg to help draw the shoulders, extra tractioning, flexing and pointing that foot, remembering to breathe through these movements. 2 more times, back and forth with that flexion and pointing of the foot, and then drawing that back, setting that down, moving your block away, again shaking that out. And then from here we're going to come to standing. I'm going to move my blocks out of the way. I'm going to stand behind my chair. I'm just going to turn the chair seat around so that the back of the chair is facing me. So just before we get into some of our opening sun salutation movements, we're going to get into now hip extension. We explored hip flexion. That's where we lifted the knee up and we felt that shortening of the hip muscles. So as you move that knee up, that's hip flexion. So hip extension is the opposite of that. As you stand behind your chair, making sure now you're rooting through the feet, feeling Tadasana, if you will, even though your hands are on that chair seat, this is mountain pose. Feeling all of the lifting, the energy rising from the grounding of your feet, feeling the spine tall. Once again, that imaginary line drawing up to the ceiling from the crown of your head. What we're going to do is now extend the left leg back. I'm going to take that back and then draw it forward. This is hip extension. So if you'd like, take your left hand onto the front of your hip bone right here. If you were to put your hands on your hips, we all think our hips refer to this. And not to say that's not true, but when I refer to your hips, I refer to your hip points, and your hip bones are actually right here. So if you were to put your hands on your hips, notice that your index and pointer finger would be, your index and your middle finger would be drawing a line right to the front here of your thighs. So these are where your hip bones are. So keeping that left hand on that frontal hip point, keeping the feet parallel, holding onto your chair and grounding the right foot into the floor. Gently extend, point the toe back behind you and extend that left leg back. And now drawing that in without moving anything else except that leg. It's a lot of control, a lot of awareness. Once again, extending that hip back. Again, honor your body and your range of motion and your mobility. If you've had a hip replacement, maybe you've been advised that hip extension is something you should be very cautious about. Keep it minimal then. Or just explore Tadasana and feeling the grounding effect. Now switching sides. We're going to keep that right hand now on the right hip point. Take that foot back and now draw it forward. So as you extend the leg back, you're feeling the muscles of both the quadricep, but also your hamstring engage as well, so the back of that thigh. Once again, taking that foot back, you're pointing the foot, feeling the lift, try not to teeter-totter, and draw it forward. Beautiful, one more time. Extending that back, and then drawing it forward. So that is hip extension. So now exploring the mobility in our hips through our movement practice. As we turn our chair seat around, once again, coming into Surya Namaskar, Ardha Surya Namaskar, our version for our chair-based practice. So with that, again, honor your body where you are. I'm going to keep my block on my chair seat just for the time being. Feet parallel. They should be drawn in. You may feel pigeon-toed, but make sure that your feet are not turned out or turned in. And so from here, feeling the lift, hands at the sides. Let's begin. Inhale, coming into Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing hands. Exhale, draw the arms back down. We're going to do that one more time, just arms only. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And then exhale, drawing the arms back down. Adding on here for our movement. Inhale. Exhale, gently bend the knees, hinge at the hips. So again, we're focusing on the hip movement. As you fold in the hips, let your head hang, bend the knees as much as you need to, friends, especially if you're tight. I am very tight today. So I'm going to be very cautious and aware, and my legs may not be as straight as yours in this practice. It doesn't matter. I'd rather you be safe and that you protect your low back as well and not torture these hamstrings if they are tight. Letting your head hang, let's come into 3 rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, round up into the mid-back. Exhale, pull the chest through, gaze forward, extend the spine. 2 more times. Inhale, rounding up. Make sure those shoulders are right over the wrists. Exhale, pull the chest through, gazing forward. 1 more time. Inhale, rounding up. And exhale, gently draw the chest through, collarbones broaden. From here, bend the elbows, pressing up, grounding through the feet as you rise up, fingertips reach toward the ceiling, and exhale, turn the palms out. Beautiful, just like that, we're adding on with puppy dog. Inhale. Exhale, cascade, pull the hips back as you bend the knees, keeping everything safe, friends. Let the practice work for you. We're going to do, once again, 3 rounds of cat-cow. Inhale. Exhale, pull the chest through, gaze forward. Second time, rounding up. This is flexion of your spine. And as you exhale into cow, this is extension of the spine. Try to get as much length as we can. 1 more time, rounding. And exhale, gently drawing it through. From here, we're adding on into puppy dog. Either foot steps back to begin to lead you into our version of downward facing dog, which is puppy dog. This is downward facing dog, but using the chair. Now, adjust your feet where you need to. Always keep a generous bend in the knees, especially for your first opening puppy dog. Make sure, though, that those arms are working. Arms are straight and strong, pressing into the chair. Feel the amount of your index and pinky finger pressing into the chair seat. Roll the shoulders away from your ears. And if you need to, make sure you can roll your head gently side to side or shake it yes, just to make sure that that neck feels free. Let the head hang. You are gazing down between your feet, keeping the knees bent. Take another breath in here. And now gently as you inhale, gazing forward, as you lift up, we're walking to our chair gently, coming into 2 rounds of cat-cow here, rounding up, getting into it slowly and surely. Exhale, drawing it forward. Feeling the collarbones broaden and get a little wider each time, rounding up. Feel like this fluid movement is just happening more automatically every time. Listen to your body. And then as you gently bend the elbows, press up, rise up. Feeling taller each time, exhale, coming back into Tadasana. Continuing on here, inhale, sweep the arms up. Again, friends, if you need to continue with a little bit more cat-cow or a longer puppy dog, please do so. Pause the video and join us when you're ready. Inhale for cat. Exhale for cow. One more time, cat. Rounding up, get into that mid-back. Feel the rounding effect there. And then as you exhale, the extension, your hip bones, your tailbone is moving as far back away from the crown of your head as possible. And now from here, one more time into puppy dog, stepping it back. Again, your feet can be wide for this. They don't have to be just a hip's distance apart. They can be a little wider if you're tight. Again, generous bend to the knees, or maybe your legs are straight, but as long as your hamstrings and your low back agree with that, please make this practice your own. Breathe in here. Feel the belly fill on your inhale. And as it exhales, your belly contracts and your hips can pull a little bit further up and back toward the sky, toward the ceiling. One more time. Big breath into the belly. And as you exhale, hips are pulling a little bit further back. It may not feel or look like you're going far, but trust me, even just small effects make a huge difference. Take another breath in here. After that long hold for our puppy dog, we're going to inhale, look forward. And now as we walk to our chair, 2 more times with cat-cow. Inhale, round. Exhale, pulling it through. Inhale for cat. Really try to peak in the mid-back. And then exhale, gently drawing it through, bending the elbows, coming up. And now exhale, draw the arms back down. Let's come into a standing cobra just to feel that length. So hands either up, fingertips up or down, or cupped, or fists, whichever you can accommodate with your shoulders. Pull them back. And then feel your spine extend as your tailbone, your sacrum moves gently down, feeling the lift. Again, if it feels natural to look up toward the ceiling, please do so. As you do that, you can open up the throat, feel that. Also feel the collarbones broadening as you open up. You should feel this beautiful opening and extension. Again, if the neck though does not feel okay, keep it center and just gently extend and open. Take another breath in here. Beautiful. As you inhale, roll the shoulders forward, shake it out. So now continuing on into our standing poses. Again, if you feel you need to do a few more cat-cows, puppy dog, or even plank sequences, please do so. We're going to move on into our standing poses. So from here, keeping the block in the chair seat, the block on the seat, and the seat facing you. We're going to continue on. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, turn the palms out, cascade down. From here, holding onto your chair seat, keep your right toes under the chair. And we're going to take our left foot back, turn the toes out, coming into our warrior one stance. So from there, knee right over the heel, making sure that you have a good grip of your chair seat. But as you press through that back foot, the entire back foot, that leg is engaged. Now again, we're focusing on, again, the hip, quadricep, all of this action. So as this leg extends, we want to make sure that this hip pulls back. So we have an evenness and we have this work distributed evenly through the legs. Now, as we come into our warrior one, you can either take your hands to that thigh, or your block is there in case you need to stay here, or you're welcome to keep the hands here on the seat. Be where you are. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, we're going to bring the hands once again. We're holding this just a little bit more. We're going to take now the left arm up. Inhale. Beautiful. Exhale, lowering that back down. Taking that hand to the seat. We're going to take that right foot back into puppy dog. So feeling that extension, feeling the lift, and again, use your breath to help get your puppy dog maybe a little bit longer, a little bit more stretched out, if you will. Maybe it's getting a little bit more comfortable. Nothing should be torturous in yoga, please. I never want you to feel pain. Effort, yes. Challenge, yes. If your energy and your desire is there, but your body does not feel like it's suffering. Please, never, 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 friends. Yoga should be a challenge and an effort, but it should not feel painful. Take another breath in here. And now as you exhale, feeling your belly pulling back, hips pulling back, inhale, lift. We're now going to take our left foot underneath the chair, turn the right toes out. Here we go, coming into our warrior one. So in our warrior one, setting up the same way. As you really get that back leg straight, pressing through the entire foot, make sure the alignment of that knee is right over your heel. And now from here, we want to move this hip back so that, again, imagining your hip points, they are facing directly forward to your chair seat. Now, holding onto your chair, we want the alignment of the legs first, and then we come up to the position that works for you with the upper body. The chest lifts, the sternum, your breastbone lifts up. And now from here, taking hands either to the thigh or keeping them where you were, take a breath in. And now as you exhale, we're coming back, hands to the thigh. Again, if you need to be where you are, go for it. Stabilize. And now we're lifting up the right arm. Inhale. Beautiful. Exhale. Hand comes down to the chair. Pull that left foot back. Coming back into your puppy dog. From here, if you need to pedal out the knees, get in any movement, roll the shoulders out, friends. The bicep and tricep need to be turned on. Those muscles need to work. So when you press through the mound of the index, you turn on the bicep. The mound of your pinky finger turns on the tricep, the outer upper arm muscle. Pulling the hips back as you exhale gently. Feeling as if a trapeze was under your low belly. Pulling your hips and bum up toward the ceiling. Take another breath in here. And now as you exhale, feeling the belly pulling back, hips pulling back. As you inhale, looking forward, walking to your chair seat. We're going to do one round of cat-cow here. Inhale, round. Exhale for cow. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale for cow. Sorry, cat. Exhale for cow. Bending the elbows, lifting up. And then exhale, turn the palms out. Beautiful. So now, friends, this is where that blanket may come in handy. So as we continue through our standing poses, I'm going to have my blanket out. I'm going to move Baby Yoda and take his blanket. So yes, friends, we have a guest joining me today. That'd be Baby Yoda. And I'm going to leave my blanket or your towel or whatever you have, just a cushion nearby. So I'm going to have it about halfway. So as I kneel, if I need it, I'll have that to cushion my knee. Again, you know what's appropriate for your body. If that's not going to work for you, I'm going to give modifications. So keeping that block again on our chair seat. Feet hips distance. Assuming your Tadasana once again. Feel the lift, feel the tall spine. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, draw the arms back down. Taking your hands to the chair seat once again. Here we go, right foot under the chair seat. You're going to take the left foot back and come once again into our warrior one leg. So as we get so much more familiar with this, we already know that automatic alignment, knee over that front heel, back leg straight and strong, but we've got to correct the hip. We really want those hips facing forward. Once you have that, once again, coming up into warrior one. If you're lifting up both arms, join me. Take a breath in here for your full Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. And now as you exhale, we're going to come into a twist. And so as I take my hand, my right hand to my right thigh, I'm going to keep my left hand on this block. Now, if you want to join me and just come into the twist with the block, we're going to do that. So, one more time. Inhale, lift the arms up. And now as we exhale, I'm going to open up into the twist. We look behind at the right hand. Now, I'm turning away from you. You can make this a little bit more accommodated by putting that hand on that block. And then as you press into that block, gives you a little bit more work to turn and gaze toward that hand. Take a breath in here. Keep the hips level. The work is in the legs as well. Take another breath. Beautiful. As you exhale, bring that arm forward. And now, once again, hands to the chair. Pull that front leg back into puppy dog. Beautiful work, everyone. So the work of warrior one, obviously asymmetrical until we get to both sides. Feeling a little twist like we did at the beginning, engaging the upper body. Taking another breath in here. And as you inhale, walking toward that chair seat with the left foot forward. This time we turn the right foot out. And once again, before we even getting into that twist, let's get the alignment of the legs. Keeping that stable, pulling that left hip back, right leg straight and strong. Come right into your warrior one if you're ready, or take your time, making sure that you can keep the legs stable. And now inhale, draw the shoulders in away from the ears. Make sure you can move your head side to side, the neck feels free. Beautiful, take a breath in here. And now as you exhale, once again, we're taking our hands to that thigh, left hand to the left thigh, and we're going to reassess. We have that block so we can accommodate our twist on this side. So once more, get the legs stable, and then inhale, sweep the arms up once again. Beautiful. As you exhale, you can come right into your twist, opening out. So you're twisting, you can feel that work coming toward that front thigh, but make sure the legs do not move. Otherwise, you can keep that right hand on the block, and that helps you open a little bit more deeper into the upper body aspect of the twist. Keeping some stability here. Did you come out of that front knee? Look at what I did. Your teacher's a cheater. Take another breath in here. Beautiful. As you exhale, coming forward. Once more, hands to the chair seat, puppy dog. If you'd like to take downward facing dog, if that's familiar to you in your practice, please. That may feel really good at this point. But if you want to stick with the chair, like me, roll those shoulders out. See if you can get those hips a little bit further back. Maybe the legs are getting straighter. It's not a contest. It's not a competition. It's yoga. This is your relationship and the awareness you have of your body, of nurturing it with movement, not torturing it. A very different mindset here. Take another breath. As you exhale, feel the belly pulling back. Inhale, gaze forward. Walking to our chair seat. Rounding up for cat. Exhale for cow. Bending the elbows, coming up. This time, let's join our hands in prayer position. Bringing it through Namaste, through the heart. Gently close your eyes, catch your breath. Notice how you feel thus far. Checking in with your energy level as well. Not just with your physical body. And then when you are ready, gently let your hands come to the sides, blink the eyes open. Our last aspect of our standing sequence of poses here. This is where we may find our blanket comes in handy. So with that, standing before your chair, once again, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, cascade toward your chair seat. From here, we're keeping the right toes under the chair and taking the foot back. Now, start in warrior one with that leg straight, but that foot turned out, getting the alignment of the knee right over the heel. Now what you're going to do is once you have yourself stable, you're going to pivot that ball of the foot and get the heel up. Now this is high lunge. So all we did was bring that heel up. Now I know for some of you it's like, that's still a lot, I know. So be where you are, try to get the heel directly over the toes if possible. And then with that, squeeze the inner thighs together. That's the secret of a high lunge. So from here, we're going to take the hands to the thigh. If you want to stay here, perfect. If you wanted to stay at the chair seat, that's perfectly fine as well. Or you could come into crescent pose Anjaneyasana. Now, of course, this is more of the advanced version. We're going a little bit more progressed into this. I'm offering this for anyone else who wants to take it. Take another breath in here. Beautiful. As you exhale, from here, we're going to hold on to the chair seat. And now from here, we're going to gently 3 times pulse halfway down and come back up. Now at this point, if this is not good for you, come to your chair seat. One more time, pulsing down, coming back up. And now from here, we're going to come down. We're going to come to kneeling and into low lunge. So if your knee is sensitive, please get a blanket like so and have it to cushion that knee just in case you need it. Now, if you don't need it, awesome, but we're just letting that, the top of the foot of that leg just flat on your floor. And now from here, we're going to take the right foot outside of the chair seat. So as we know, this particular session is about getting into the hips. So from here, we're going to come into a lunge, low lunge, and getting into a little depth of the hips. So I'm keeping myself with my chest lifted. I have that block to accommodate me if I have to stay higher. But we're sinking down into that front right thigh, the front hip, and then coming back up. So we're just pulsing a few times back and forth. Again, if you don't want the block, you just want to have the hand on the seat. Awesome. You're also going to feel this again in the front hip flexor of that left thigh. So as you come forward, you're going to feel it here in the front thigh. You may also feel it in your hip crease of the right knee, of the right leg. Now from here, coming back center. Friends, those of you who are in the chair, I'm going to take a moment here. You're going to do lunge stretch in the chair. So you're going to sit in the chair and again have that block if you need it, and you're going to hold onto your chair and you're going to get that nice stretch in the chair as well. So back to our low lunge. Your foot is outside of your chair, holding onto your chair seat. Bring it in a little closer if you need to. I'm now extending by pushing my heel away, so I'm now straightening my leg. Now, it doesn't have to be completely straight. If you've got a big bend or a micro bend, perfect. Flex the toes so that they're pointed up toward the ceiling, and let that extension stretch out. So this is essentially a half split. This is our version of Hanumanasana. And so as we stay, again, my knee is directly under the hip. I have this perfect stacked structure for that alignment. And then if I want, I can stretch toward those toes. I could even take my other hand toward if I want to stretch. If you have that in your practice today, go for it. But otherwise, breathe into the length of this stretch. Take another breath in here. Keep the chest high and lifted though, if you're staying up. From here, hold onto your chair, draw that heel in. You're going to bring both knees now, center. And now from here, friends, we're doing a pose, child's pose. Now, if you don't need the chair for child's pose, awesome. Those of you who are in the chair with that lunge chair version, you're going to come into puppy dog. The rest of us on the floor, we're going to widen our knees. If you need to, again, accommodate the blanket or the towel, widen the knees, take your arms to the chair seat, and sit your hips back. Now, the wider your knees, the more your belly can nestle in between the thighs and the hips can go back. Now be where you are. Maybe you're resting your head on your arms, or if you'd like, you can come into more of the traditional child pose, where your hands are on the floor and you're resting your forehead onto the floor. Again, yogi's choice. Do what works for you. This is a stretch in the hips. This is a big opening in our hips. So be gentle and breathe into it. Those of you in puppy dog, pedal the knees, make sure that your shoulders are rolling out away from your ears. And then here we go, friends, coming back center. Those of you in puppy coming to your chair, the rest of us are going to come up, draw the knees back in. And now using your chair to help you, tuck your toes. And this is where we come up once again to standing. Those of us gently come up, walk in toward your chair seat. Move my blanket just momentarily. We're going to come into cat-cow once again. Rounding up for cat. Exhale for cow. We're going to do that on the other side now. So from here, left toes under. Oh, sorry. Left toes under. Left toes under the chair. And now from here, once again, your warrior one. As you have that knee over the heel, extend that back leg back. And now coming into the pivot, bringing that foot so that the heel is right over the ball of the foot, over the toes, if you can. I know that's a challenge for many of us. So I don't want you to, again, go into torture mode, but I want you to feel that you can get that heel up as high as possible. And now from here, we're coming into our high lunge. So working where you are, coming up, again, the hips have to pull back. That front hip has to pull back. Lifting up if you're ready into Anjaneyasana. Again, this is the peak of your standing poses. Take a breath in here. Beautiful. As you exhale, you're taking those hands to the chair seat. And here we go. We're going to pulse down. Those of you who are in the chair, you're taking your lunge stretch with the chair. bending down, 2. So again, just halfway, a pulse. This is number 3, coming back up, and now, here we go, coming into our low lunge. Once again, cushion if you need it. And then I'm taking my left foot outside the chair. And this is where I may need to move my chair so I can accommodate that stretch. So this hip flexor, a little bit tighter than the other side. But I want to get deep also into this hip fold here. So I'm coming in and out. So I'm using the chair to, again, it helps keep my chest lifted by resting my arms here. And I can really concentrate on feeling the stretch where I need it in the hips. Now again, making sure, friends, that your knee does not hurt, that you have an adequate cushioning. Now maybe you want to tuck the toes or untuck and just have the top of the foot onto the floor. Maybe that helps the knee a little bit. So explore what works for you. Once again, coming forward. And then from here, bring ourselves back center. Here we go. We're going to extend that heel away and now come into our version of Hanumanasana, which is half split. So again, toes are flaring up toward the ceiling. We're feeling nice extension. Now, you may have a super bend in that knee, and that's perfectly fine, especially if you want to come forward into a stretch, taking that hand toward the toes, but keeping the chest as lifted as possible so that the spine doesn't round. So as you keep lifting, I'm going to keep myself here, but have a little bit more of a bend. So again, I'm keeping that knee joint safe. Feel the stretch where you need to. Breathe into this. Feel the extension. Also, you're feeling that hip flexor stretch right here in the front of that right thigh. Take another breath in here. Beautiful. Again, holding onto that seat to come up. Gently draw that heel back. And now you're going to match both knees. You're coming into your child's pose. Friends that were doing lunge stretch with the chair, you are in puppy dog. Those of you with me, widen your knees. And once again, we're coming into child's pose. So, see how this feels. Now that we have done both sides of our high lunge, low lunge sequence and of Ardha Hanumanasana, or half split, maybe now you want to come a little bit further toward the floor. And you rest your forehead. Again, friends, wherever you're at, breathe into the hips. The wider your knees, the more your belly can nestle in between. This is really about relishing and just really settling into your body. Settle into a lot of the stiffness. Surrender to just breathing into that. And let yourself, in a sense, melt into the floor. Release with each breath tension, stress, anxiety. Breathe it out into the floor. Let yourself feel grounded in this pose as well. Balasana, child's pose, is a resting pose. It is a restorative pose for a reason, because it has so many benefits. When you are ready, gently come up. Now, friends, those of you in puppy, that was a long puppy dog hold, but come to your chair seat, or if you'd like, you may come into a meditation or a full shavasana on the floor, however you'd like to end your practice. Today, since we're on the floor already, I want to demonstrate my third option that I have yet to display in these videos. Again, if you're familiar with my class, you know I encourage this one as well, but especially after today's practice, this may feel really good. So this is a version using the chair of Viparita Karani, which is legs up the wall. Now, if you'd like to have your legs up against a wall, awesome. But what we're going to do is use the chair. So I'm just going to demonstrate. I'm going to take my legs up. Now, if you need a cushion or the block under your legs, please accommodate that. But I'm taking my legs up on the chair. So again, this is like an anti-gravity effect, letting the blood drain. And so as you do this, you're relieving the pressure. You're taking your arms back. You're going to safely lower down and relax onto the floor. And so again, make sure your low back is comfy, that your legs are comfortable, and feel as if your calves, they are completely supported. And again, if you'd like to have your arms out to the sides or them resting on your belly, take a few moments here and just feel the breath, the rise and the fall of your belly. Feel your shoulders relaxing down. Move your jaw side to side. And close your eyes and just take a few moments here of breathing. Now this is another option I've given you. If this is not your bag and it's rather uncomfortable, then please come into the pose of your choice, which I'm moving out of this, coming into Shavasana, which is just getting your legs off of that chair and just letting yourself just lie on the floor and coming into corpse pose. Now my head's cut off, my legs are cut off, but you get the gist of it. Or, again, coming into meditation. It's the yogi's choice for the closing of your practice today. Again, since we ended our practice on the floor, legs up the chair should feel pretty good. But for those of you who want to come into meditation, please do so. Or if you'd like to explore both options, that's also available to you. So as you continue to lie on the floor, there's no need for you to adjust yourself and come into meditation pose in the chair. But I'm going to end our practice today, and you may just listen to the sound of my voice and continue to relax in this pose as long as you like to, as long as it benefits you. Breathe into the softness of your body. Let the tightness, the effort fall away. Just feel the movement of breath flow through you. Let calm and peacefulness and tranquility overcome your entire being, not just your body. If you're continuing to lie on the floor, please place one hand on your low belly and one on your heart. And feel the pulsation of your breath and your heartbeat. Those of you who have come to meditation in the chair, bring your hands to Namaste, prayer position at the heart. And again, as you feel the rise and fall of your chest, with your hands in Anjali Mudra, thank yourself for giving yourself this gift of movement, the gift of the practice of yoga. Thank you for allowing me to lead you in your movement practice. It is always an honor and a privilege. The light in me recognizes and honors that same brilliant, beautiful light in each and every one of you. I humbly bow before you. Namaste.